This is Blade Method Mindset, episode 6, with Corey Allen and me, Chris Trainer. Hello, Corey.
Hello, Chris.
All right, we've been waiting for this day since the beginning of our podcast careers. We've got the ladies of Blade, Claire Trainer and Tara Posthumous, on the show, and they're both co-owners of CrossFit Blade, and really the magic that makes it all work. And we're excited to have them on. We're going to tell their stories, hear about what they do on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully get into some fun stuff about their lives. I know I mentioned earlier on the podcast, on one of the earlier episodes, how Claire secretly wants to be a UFC fighter. And you got to see a little bit of that yesterday, didn't you, Corey?
Like at a tip of a hat, just whap, kicks Chris hard in the hamstring, drops him flat. And
buckled my legs to the floor.
And it was pure reaction. Like there was no pause in it at all. What did you do? Like you touched her on the nose or something?
I tapped her.
Tapped her nose?
I gave Stacy a forehead high five. And I gave Claire an underhand high five on her belly. And then I turned around and was on my knees in half a second.
It was a quick, she looked at you after it happened and immediately went to the strong leg kick to the back of the hamstring. Wham!
But it was like a sideways...
It's like a flick kick.
Flick, hamstring dropped. It was like she was clearing a ball from midfield. It was instinctual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
She's violent.
And so last night we get home and she goes, I should be a jiu-jitsu. I go, well...
jiu-jitsu?
You mean you should do jiu-jitsu, but they don't kick in jiu-jitsu. She goes, well, I could be a kickboxer. And I go, see, I told you wanted to fight. She goes, well, I wouldn't do it.
No, so. I remember one time when we were doing one of the classes, I don't know, the jiu-jitsu or Krav Maga or whatever it was, but they had the mats up. Yes, Claire was going ham.
Because I was going against Jen, who weighs 100 pounds.
No, she was kicking this mat. I thought Jen was going to go into the next room. She was like, wham, wham.
Jen was leaving her feet.
It
was hilarious. I mean, it was bad. Yeah.
The mat was bigger than Jen, so it was just whang. It was dangerous.
We need to get her in some form of
hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
If there's kicking involved.
Yeah, if she's allowed to use
body
her feet.
checks.
Yeah, or hard shoulder. She'll drop the shoulder.
Judo, maybe, where you can use your hips. How about you? Tara's not violent. Tara's not a violent person. No. I've never seen Tara strike anybody. Or me. Nope. And she's had reason to strike me a few times, and she never has. So.
I've seen her strike people with her eyes.
Yeah,
this is true.
You know, when something goes wrong in the gym from an outside factor, and you can see Claire get upset. She's kind of sad, oh man, they messed up, they didn't do what I wanted. And if you see Tara walk in the room after, that person's about to have something happen to them. They're not ready for. Yeah. I've seen Tara. I've seen her walk into the hallway and go out to the gym. I'm like, he's not ready to hear this conversation.
Good cop, bad cop by design. Claire's good cop, I'm the bad cop.
Yeah, and the bad cop is aggressive. You come in full force.
Yeah, we had one of those conversations the other day at the gym with somebody, and I don't want to name any names, but it was like, okay, I'm going to leave. I don't want to be around this anymore. Yeah.
Anthony comes out, he goes, he's about to get the business from Tara. He said, Tara gave that man the business.
So if that's the thing, is if Tara was violent and that, it would be like, okay, we got it. We need some protection, but...
Yeah, it'd be over.
Yeah, so good thing you're not...
tag team.
Yeah, good thing you just kill people with your
stairs.
Face.
With your stairs.
I was gonna say with what you guys always say, but I didn't want to say that on the podcast because it's a bad word.
Darting eyes.
Yeah.
But
so let's hear from Tara and her story into CrossFit Blade. And I mean, I know the entire story. I have it memorized vividly. I know exactly it, but I'd like to hear her version.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the first podcast because I think you had one small detail wrong and now I can't remember what it was, but you do remember the story very well. Anyway, so I had a personal trainer that introduced me to CrossFit. First workout ever was Fight Gone Bad, which we just did last week. Yeah, and so you got it if you want to come back after Fight Gone Bad, that you're a CrossFitter for life. So shortly after I had a baby, he wasn't training anymore. I knew I needed something, and so I went to Google and was like, I wonder if there's any CrossFit gyms by my house. Blade was the first one that came up, and I had every intention of trying the 4 CrossFit gyms that were around that area at the time. And so I called Chris, and it was the day he had his wrist surgery, and he had quite a bit of medication because he did not recall the conversation at all. So I show up for my trial class, and there's Claire in the office. So she had no idea I was coming because
Chris didn't tell her.
Had forgot to tell her.
Well,
Don't blame it on the drugs.
Anyway, that's my understanding that what it was. But yeah, so first workout, I'm pretty sure I had pull-ups in it, and I didn't get my chin over the bar. I got maybe like the first one I did, and then after that it was all downhill. And Claire was like, "Oh no, you hit scale," and I was like, "Scale? Like no way." So anyway, but no, I was humbled pretty. I kind of eye up everybody at the gym. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm fitter than these people," and all of them kicked my butt. So then I joined Blade, didn't even try out the other ones, was there probably, I don't know, not that long, like 6 months, and I did my level 1. And
did I talk to you about training before the level 1? I think I was like, you should be a coach here, right? I mean, you're skipping over the fact that you almost didn't join because you weren't sure about Jared. And
yes, yeah. I did skip over the fact that I was like, do you have a 2-day-a-week membership here? And so he was like, yeah. And like within a week, he's like, you got to come every day. And I said, the only way I do that is if my husband comes. Jared came in. Jared liked it right away. And yeah, so then I don't know, maybe you did tell me that I should be a coach, but either way, went to get my level 1. And I was like, I think I might want to move back to Minnesota and open a gym, because I just thought that's where Jared and I would always end up. And then long story short, I got pregnant with Quinn and decided I wanted to stay here. We saw an opening up by North, and I remember going to you guys and I was like, would you guys ever want to open a second gym? And you guys were both like, yeah. And that's kind of how it all happened.
Yeah, that was the super, super fast version. She just did a couple years in about 30 seconds, but that's okay.
Tara's always about maximizing her time. She gets things done quick.
But, so you were coaching at the gym that entire time. You were a coach at CrossFit Blade.
I was a coach.
Also working in corporate America.
Yes.
And being a coach.
Yes.
And you decided to leave corporate America and become a partner at Blade when Claire and we all talked about it and decided that to happen, which was a big risk for you. Yes. And something that a lot of people think about doing and would like to do, and not very many people do take that leap, and you did. So that's something to be commended and talked about. I think that that's a big deal. You had a very secure job that you could have climbed up that corporate ladder and probably had a nice retirement and, done that whole thing, but you had a desire to work for yourself and create things and do things that entrepreneurs do, and that was a big deal. So
yeah.
You skipped over that, so I wanted to make
Thanks,
sure.
Chris.
You also skipped over the fact that you're an ex-professional golfer.
Yeah.
I'll toot your horn for you, T. Don't worry. Tara's an ex-professional golfer, in case you guys didn't know that.
That was one of the things Chris got wrong. He said I played in the U.S. Open. It was not the U.S. Open.
It was the LPGA Championship.
It was the LPGA Championship.
Because I saw the flag in the office. I was like, dang it.
LPGA.
I actually saw that. I think it was yesterday. I looked at that and I was like, is that what she played in? So I remembered that. Yeah.
I was one stroke away from qualifying for the U.S. Open.
One stroke away?
One stroke.
Do you go back and think about that stroke all the time?
Oh, I did immediately after.
But like for how many days?
Oh, yeah, that one took a while to get over.
That'd be like 8 years probably. That one time when I missed that stroke.
That's a big deal. I mean, it is, in the past and a long time ago in college golf and everything, but like that's a big deal. U.S. Open.
I would lead every conversation that I ever had with that.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? My name's Tara. I was one stroke away. I was one stroke away from qualifying from the U.S. Open. Yeah, thank you. Come on to the gym. Let me show you around.
So let's get back to Tara.
I think you could go on to Claire.
No. Hold on. We got more. So you became a partner. We opened up North. North started super small, and we've gone over all that in another podcast, so I don't want to go over the history of everything. But then we started building the building. We decided that we were going to move Blade and build the building, and you were really the brunt force of like dealing with the bank and all that massive paperwork that everything had to happen. And like, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that had to happen was really you took the majority of that on and were super stressed out the whole time, and so I'm always grateful for that, that you were able to do that, because like, everyone, you guys are always like, you're the visionary, like, yeah, that's true. Like, I like to dream and think and plan, but like, if I would have had to deal with the bank all the time and do that paperwork, like, there's no way, I mean, if I had to and I was the only one, like, I would have found a way and I would have grit down and done it, but it wouldn't have been as effective and it probably wouldn't have been as timely, and who knows if I would have done it even correctly. So like, I want people to know that what you did in that situation, because it's super important to me. So,
well, thanks.
Yeah.
How hard was it dealing with all that? Was this a nightmare?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't pleasant. I marched myself down. I just like to try to get things done, and I like to talk to the right people. So probably one of the best stories of it was we didn't want to make our building smaller. And we had to accommodate the parking regulations. Because I was like, we don't need that much parking. We got 12 spots now. We're totally fine. If you come to Blade now, you know that we don't have ample parking. So the city was
We thought we had more parking than we'd ever need in the history of any gym, any CrossFit gym ever, and it's full every day.
So Blade is actually going to be 1,100 square feet bigger than what it is right now. Mm-hmm. But we had to make it smaller to have the right parking ratios. But I wanted to argue that point. So I called these people in the city, and I was like, and they're like, no. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go down there. So I drove my car down to the city of Phoenix, went to the department. You take this number. I'm sitting in a chair where there's contractors all lined up, and I totally do not look like I belong. And so I've been emailing this guy that I'm about to talk to. And so it's my turn, and I say who I need to talk to. The guy comes out, and I was like, coaching myself before I went down there, and I was like, all right, I'm going to look him straight in the eye. I'm going to give him a firm handshake, and I'm just going to be like, look, this is what our business is. It is nothing like, Mountainside and all those other gyms that you have to accommodate parking for. We're different. And I went up there, and he was kind of the type of guy, and I know it's a podcast, so you can't see me, but he's like looking down and off to the side.
Oh, you're on camera.
He had a super like noodly handshake.
Oh, my
and I was like,
Taylor was like, I'm going to eat this dude alive.
I was totally like, and then he just was like that kind of guy that was like, well, I can't really do anything about it. And I was like, I came down here to talk to the person that could do something about it. But apparently when you deal with the city, I think nobody can do anything about anything because they all just pass it off to the next person. So
they'll be replaced by robots.
Yeah. Tara's sitting there like, well, you better talk to someone else and bring them down because I'm figuring out this situation right now and I'm not leaving.
Yeah, so I didn't get my way, but hey, I think it's probably for the better because we
need the parking anyway. Maybe they
1,100 square feet would have been kind of nice though. An extra
1,100 square feet would be awesome.
Yeah.
Where was that going to go? Out towards the park, like where the parking is now?
The whole entire frame of
bigger.
The
it was going to be bigger, yeah.
Bigger. So, which to the naked eye wouldn't have. It's not like there was going to be another 1,100 square foot section of the gym somewhere.
And that square would have been bigger. Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah. So, would you say, Tara, is probably your favorite part about being a CrossFit gym owner and getting to do what you do every day?
Well, I do love coaching, although I don't do it a lot anymore. But
you will get back to it.
Yes. I'm working some things out, trying to get some systems and processes, and that's probably exactly what, like, for me, I'm a geek. Like, I love listening to, Chris Cooper, Two Brain. I follow John Swanson, some of those guys that just talk about most of the business side of CrossFit. And then I'm in an EO, which is Entrepreneurs Group, and just really learning from other business owners. That stuff interests me. I'm getting into all these like charts and graphs so I can really have a good, dashboard and pulse of what our business is doing from, a membership standpoint, financial standpoint, and all those things. So to me, it's like, that's fun. Like, I enjoy doing it. So
yeah, and I love it. Like when you sent out the reports yesterday, the graphs that you put together and all the reports, you're just spot on with it all the time. And that's a thing that obviously we're trying to do something with CrossFit Blade that a lot of gyms don't do, but to have that information every month readily available, just keeping the business on track is something that, is is so valuable, and I love it every single time. I don't tell you all the time, but I do love it. Like, those graphs make me so happy. I love graphs because they're visual. Like, I don't have enough attention span to sit. I'm not a line item
numbers.
person, and so like going back and forth, like I'll do it if I have to, but graphs with colors.
Hey, I like it too. That's why I made them
for me. Yeah. Well, I guess we could see. This was kind of, so I will mention that Tara, your dog, isn't doing well,
right?
And you may have to put her down, which is super sad and difficult. And you may have not come on the show today. And I was like, well, that could kind of work out better because we could spend an hour with just Tara and just Claire. And I told Claire that, and she was like, no, I want to go on with T. And I was like, well, we could do Monday, but that's the last time. And I was kind of being a brat, but so we could spend way more time talking about Tara's story and everything that she does with the gym, which we'll get back to in a little bit, but we'll transition over to Claire because she's been waiting patiently. I know how much she wants to tell and talk and everything, so I'll just let her have at it, babe. Would you like to tell your story? Would you like me to tell it?
I can tell it.
All right.
Like how I found
me.
I'll tell my version.
Oh my goodness. Uh-oh.
I won't tell that. How I found CrossFit.
Wait, you can't. Now people are going to think there's something sketchy. There's nothing sketchy.
Chris followed her out to the parking lot.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of got it right on the last podcast you did.
Okay, also inaccurate. Like, you guys are saying, like, I got everything right.
Not the U.S. Open.
Except for the U.S. Open.
Yeah, you forgot about that part.
Yeah. Okay, so I moved to Fireside. Then
which is the neighborhood we live in.
Which is the neighborhood we live in. And I finished playing semi-pro soccer and did marathons and didn't like it. And so
you were trying to look for an outlet to compete.
Yeah. And so a friend of mine said, well, you should try this figure competing. So I reached out to Chris, who is the fitness director at Fireside, and went in and told him what I wanted to do. And he kind of was pretty harsh with me about it. And
which is true.
Wasn't the nicest.
She was going on a cruise, right?
Yeah. So then I went on a cruise, and he basically said,
"Did I tell that story?"
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I went on a cruise, and he basically said that if you're going on a cruise, you can't do this. So contact me when you get back. So I went on the cruise, came back, and I contacted him, and then we spent every day, twice a day together, training, nutrition. It was like a totally different realm for me. But I did everything he said I had to do. And then a couple months into it, I think I tried to set him up with.
You think you tried to set me up?
I tried to set him up with my friend Jasmine.
Every day.
She's cute.
Was this the wedding that you were just at?
Yeah.
The Jasmine wedding?
Last year.
The California wedding or
Yeah.
whatever? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny.
so.
And Jasmine was in our wedding.
Yeah, so I tried to set her up with Jasmine. And he said, well, if you want to set me up with your friend to keep my mind from crushing on you, you can do that. So that was the first pickup line I got.
That wasn't exactly right. That wasn't exactly right.
It was right.
It was, if you want to keep trying to set me up with Jasmine to keep my mind off of you, that's fine. But I'm crushing on you. So.
So bad.
Listen.
So bad.
What do you mean that's bad?
Just so
you were
cheesy.
Smitten.
No, I mean, I probably was laughing.
We were doing planks on the floor at 8 o'clock at night, and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to marry this guy.
This is why I'm going to tell the story.
Okay, well, you keep going.
So then we went on a hike, or I invited him to go on a hike to Camelback, which he was not as capable as he probably would be now.
I wasn't doing a lot of cardio back then. At that point in my life, I was doing a lot of I was trying to get bigger.
Flexing in front of the mirror.
Yeah, and you guys know Claire and her engine, she was she wasn't even on the trail. She was on the side rock face, half a mile ahead of me. I mean, just destroying the mountain, and I was embarrassed. I was like, this is not good.
This is not good.
Not good.
Yeah.
Sounds like my everyday life.
So then we got in the car, and I think that's when we set our first date or something, and we went and saw Alice in Wonderland on March 10th.
March 10th, 2010.
With those 3D goggles, and it was terrible. And then we got engaged on Christmas, and then married in May.
Boom.
So that's how we met.
It is.
From Alice in Wonderland to engaged to married.
Yep.
Just like
Super
that.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that time,
Must have been the 3D
In that
goggles.
time, you also started working with me.
Uh-huh.
Doing the boot camp with me. I had a 5 a.m. boot camp that you started running with me. It was super popular. We have people that were in that boot camp or still at the gym. I think you were training some clients too under Trainer Bill. Yeah. And
I worked for the soccer clubs.
worked for your soccer clubs. Yeah, so you were coaching and doing that, but you were working at the Blood Lab. So we got married in May, found CrossFit in July.
Well, I found it before you did.
Well, yeah, way before.
Yeah.
Like a year or two.
Yeah.
Because of Marcus at the Globo Gym.
Yeah.
But I knew of CrossFit, but I found it in July, and we tried it because we had our garage gym that we'd built with our wedding money.
The worst garage gym
The worst
ever.
gym. Yeah. But anyways, we did that, and then we decided that, hey, we're going to make a run for this, and then affiliated in February 2012. Yeah. So you were working full time at the Blood Lab on the weekends, and we started building the gym. We did all that, opened the gym. You were still at the Blood Lab, and you started coaching when?
As soon as we opened.
As soon as you opened, but during the week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood Lab that's creepy. I just
It was
imagine,
creepy.
I just imagine a room with blood.
Lots of blood
everywhere. That's what
everywhere.
it
There
is.
was blood everywhere.
Just like bags of
In
blood.
vials and
oh god, I don't even
yeah.
like the word vials.
Yeah.
It's creepy. I can't imagine
Yeah.
you being in that.
I know.
So
I
you
can't.
don't like
I
things
don't.
like that.
I know.
It was a job out of college.
Yeah, it was a good job out of college.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I actually didn't hate it at all, but I just loved CrossFit more.
I can't imagine. Can you imagine Claire in there? Like, ugh, I don't
no,
want to touch that.
I was very much.
Well,
you don't-
like,
you don't
she
touch the
sees,
blood.
like-
Well, even I don't even want to hold a bag of blood.
Well, if it spills or the vial breaks and that's like ugh.
Claire's
It's
out.
like code red.
Yeah.
Well, they're testing like diseases
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
major.
I picture it like she like pulls the lever and the whole place comes down like.
It's
Well, what do
very
you think would be
sterile.
worse, that or if she saw like a cricket on the floor? I mean,
Ooh.
Ugh.
Well, maybe not a cockroach or a spider.
No, cricket, doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, Claire doesn't like bugs.
There was
Flying
a cricket
bug.
this morning and I didn't say
you didn't
anything.
freak out?
No, but there was a mosquito in my bedroom the other night and I heard it like every time I'd turn the light off and turn my phone on, it would come right next to my ear because it'd go to the light. So I'd flick the light back on and I'd like look for it and I'd see it and I couldn't get it and I'd turn the light off and I'd turn my phone on, then it'd come back for probably 4 times in a row and I was like, forget it.
Claire's so competitive that she makes killing a mosquito a competition. She's like, I'm gonna get this mosquito.
I didn't.
I don't
get it.
think Claire's ever killed a bug in her entire life.
That's not true.
Yeah, didn't you throw a plate on top of a
I put
scorpion?
kettlebells on top of scorpions all the time.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of scorpions in the new gym for some reason. I mean, obviously we get sprayed and everything, but you think with the newer building you get more.
get 'em.
We got a lot more in the other gym. That's for sure.
No,
So-
we've had way more at the new gym. I usually send Gage to pick them up.
We're just cleaner at the new gym, so they get cleaned up better.
I just
Yeah.
personally haven't ever seen one. I've never seen one at
Oh,
the new
yeah,
gym.
we-
Not a live one. I've seen kettlebells in random places. I'm like, what is that? And Claire
Gaina
goes, There's a
killed
bug
them last
under
week.
there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, nothing compares to that translucent, massive one
Yeah.
that Halo found.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that thing! I stepped on that thing and guts flew 15 feet. No lie.
Yeah.
Ew.
It was like a size of a tarantula. It was
That's
huge.
horrible.
Yeah. All right. So you were coaching right away, but you were working 12-hour shifts at night, which I was not okay with. I was not happy about it.
Right.
And you stopped at the Blood Lab and came on to coach, and we were running the gym until Clara came. Clara.
Clara. That's what we call them together.
When we talk about you guys and you're not there, we just say
we just,
Clara.
Clara. They're killing us lately.
Yeah. We shouldn't have given them that secret.
Dang it. Do not refer to us as Claire.
Tara came on, and then we all divided up our responsibilities, which I think we want to talk about.
Yeah, we can get into that next.
Because Claire gets super upset when I say, and Claire does the newsletter.
Yeah.
Like, that's all
That's
she
the-
does. You know, like.
Claire's job in its entirety is writing the
all I
newsletter.
do.
That's all
Yeah.
she does.
which she does way more than that, and
that Tara sends out emails.
And Tara's admin.
I'm admin.
That's it. Yeah.
Just a word of advice to the world out there.
Yeah. Don't ever say.
Don't say, hey Tara, you're admin, right?
Someone the other day asked T like, oh, you're just something about like coaching. Oh, you're just not giving away all your coaching hours, huh? Hanging out, and I could see it, like the steam coming out of Tara's ears, and I was like, that's not gonna go over well. That conversation's about. She was nice about it, but I was like, oh boy, I better get out of here. This is not gonna go well.
Well, one of my biggest pet peeves about that people ask is when they say, oh, is that your full-time job?
All the job. Oh.
Yeah, no, I own 2 gyms, and we have 400 members and 5 different programs, and all these things. Oh, that's your full-time job?
People ask me that all the time.
Goofball. I also go highlight down at the Moon Bar. Like what? Yeah, it's my full-time job. I give my life to this thing. I think about it from sun up 5 a.m. to sundown. It's all I can do. It just blows my mind because there are CrossFit gym owners out there that don't have what we do, and they sometimes have another job, but I don't know how. It takes 3 full-time owners to even come close, and we're still running behind all the time. And we've got awesome coaches that help out and do all their jobs. So,
well, even us, yeah, they're like, oh, what is this all? That's what I get. Is this all you do? You saw me at 5, 6, 7, and 8 a.m., and you're gonna see me at 3 p.m. when you come to drop your kid off. Like, what did you think I did in those hours in the middle of the day? Yeah. Ran off to my other job for 3 hours? Yes, this is my job. This is my career.
And that's what we want to provide is full-time jobs and positions and careers for our coaches. And we're on our way to doing that, but it wouldn't happen without you guys. So, Tara, do you have anything you'd like to say about your job, or you don't want to toot your own horn? I know these ladies are never like, I mean, they're a little less humble than me, but like they,
so humble,
a little less humble. See, what is your role? What would you say your role in CrossFit Blade is as a partial owner, co-owner? What's better? Co. Okay, as a co-owner of the gym.
I think for all of us, it's really hard to sum up like our role. It's always something I struggle with, but I would say, for me, it would be more like if you're going to give it a title, like the sales and finance, kind of the revenue side of our business is the things that I focus on, making sure we get like our series, 6-week series, and making sure our members have what they need and want to improve on. And, in terms of the actual, like programs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't actually do a lot of coaching or, things like that. That's more, Chris and Claire, like if it has anything to do with coaching and programming, like obviously Chris is the one to talk to, but then Claire with the personal training and barbell club, they do a lot more of that kind of stuff. So I'm the geek.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You're not a geek.
But I do more than type numbers into a spreadsheet, put it that way.
Yeah, I just want people to understand that like Tara's not out on the floor all the time, but she's a huge vital organ of the gym. If Tara wasn't there, then things would fall apart massively. And so just because she's not face to face with everybody all the time, like she's working her butt off doing stuff all the time, all day long for the gym, for our members, looking out for everybody's best interests and our coach's best interests and Claire and I's best interest, and she just does a phenomenal job at it. So
she's usually the first, she's almost always the first one to talk to a new person before they sign up.
Yeah.
Which used to be me, and thank goodness it's Tara now.
No, you did a really good job of doing that.
Well, I don't want, again, I'm humble and I don't want to talk about myself.
You should stop saying that.
I know, because it was a joke at community group the other day. We were talking and I was going over something on Monday night, and I go, no one's more humble than me. I said that, and everyone in the room just started busting up laughing. Even me, I was in tears laughing instantly after it came out of my mouth. And I try to be humble, and I think that I think that because I like talking and being active with people and doing that stuff, it might come off a little bit different, but the way I see myself as humble is I'm always willing to listen and hear things and get better. I want constructive criticism sometimes, depending on who it's coming from. So
sometimes.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. All right, so what were we just talking about?
Oh, I think I got everything
Her
on
role.
you too.
She's a
What
gym-
my
she's-
role
she's-
is. That's my role.
Coach's
Yeah.
mom. She takes care of all of us, especially too. Coach
There's
mom.
a gym mom, and I'm the coach's mom.
Coach's mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, gym mom, I think, is a good way to describe.
Do you know
Claire's-
that that's actually in our operating agreement?
Oh, really?
That
The
Claire's
word
a gym mom.
gym mom?
The word gym mom.
Words, gym mom.
It's awesome.
Very cool.
Nice.
Well,
I
that's
like
what
that.
you are then, babe. You do the newsletter. Not any, well, a little
I
bit.
do a little
so, while we have all these listeners, let's talk a little bit about the newsletter. I just want to say, for FYI, it's
Read
in the newsletter.
Yeah.
Everything that ever happens with CrossFit Blade is in the newsletter, and I think it's a phenomenal newsletter. Like, my mom reads the newsletter. She always texted me about it. And she's in Kansas, but she can't wait for the newsletter to come out, and get it on the email. Obviously, she wants to read about what we're doing. But it's a great newsletter, and it's got all kinds of information. Anything that you could ever want to know about classes and members and events and everything that we're doing is in the newsletter. So just so people know that.
It's also usually on Spotify and in Facebook and in email form. So
So if you ask
So
Claire
if
questions
you ask-
and she tells you that, that's why. That's why.
I'm thankful for people like Fuji who will straight up tell people, "Did you read
Did
the
you not
newsletter?
read the newsletter?"
Look, it's right on Spotify."
Did you
Like,
pick up the?
know.
Did you
pull up the
look at
workout of the day
anything?
today?
yeah. So
Have
if
you
we're
looked at anything that's in this gym?
yeah.
It's
So
literally everywhere.
If we're short with you, it's because we've given every form of communication for a reason. For
And
multiple
spend a lot
months.
of hours doing it.
Yeah.
It's not like it just happens overnight.
Yeah,
Like,
and
all
we've
these
even
things
split
take a
it
lot
now,
of
so
time.
it's a lot shorter to read. So
Yeah,
Is
it's
there no-
bi-weekly.
There's no 6:30 class. today?
Bi-weekly.
Well,
Bi-monthly.
because it's everywhere. For the past month, we've been telling you. that
yeah,
there's no
Tara makes
6:30
flyers
class.
for the gym, so they're like physically posted on the wall usually.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So if you miss
The
out,
majority of our members
Yeah.
know all, they do a really good job of catching one wave of channels and are super involved. And that's what we want is kind of, our veterans like that have been there for a long time, they know how things work and they know how we operate and they get informed because they know how to get informed. But we also want our new members to be informed.
Yeah.
Joining our Facebook page, reading the emails, reading the newsletter because we're a community and we want people to be educated on what CrossFit Blade, the Blade Method is all about. And if people aren't engaging and they're not on the members page and they're not reading the newsletter and they're not, paying attention to what we're doing as a gym, then it's not easy to stick like glue and become a part of that. And the more involved you are, the more you read about what we're doing, the more likely you are to stay and change your life. Get fitter and fitter and fitter. So it's not like we just want you to read the newsletter and be involved because it'll make us happy to have you knowing exactly what we're doing all the time. It's going to make you fitter. It's going to make you last longer in this lifelong journey, hopefully, that you're about to be on. So the sooner a new member gets involved and plugged in with everything that we put out there and they immerse themselves in it, then the sooner they're going to start getting fitter and fitter, which
Yeah.
is the ultimate goal, which is our life's mission.
Caleb last night was like, I'm so glad I'm part of that members page now. Like, everyone's so nice, and I feel like I am part of it. I'm like, that's exactly what it's for.
Yeah.
And we've got some questions from Caleb coming up here
Oh,
at
yeah.
the end. He reached out with some questions. So.
But like the members, literally anything that you could possibly need in life, you could probably find it on the CrossFit Blade members page.
Yeah.
Post about it, and someone will have an answer somewhere, either that they do it or that they know someone that does it.
I think that's a great point. Like, what an incredible community to have. I mean, we've got everyone from, a contractor to a landscaper to a doctor and nurses and firefighters and blah, blah, blah. I mean, every profession there is out there at CrossFit Blade Maine and CrossFit Blade North, that if you need something or need a resource, like someone's there to help. And hopefully someone steps up and helps.
Yeah, so Tara was out of town for like 15 days, and I was watching her dogs for her, and I went to her parents' house to watch the dogs because that's where they were at, and the side gate is completely off of the hinge, like off of the
Monsoon,
wall. Like,
right?
The monsoon ripped this gate. I roll around the corner, and there's this yellow lab just running around in the porch, and I was like, man, that kind of looks like Tara's dog. And then I pull up and I go, oh, that is Tara's dog. And I go in and I'm like freaking out. Call T. You're in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Tara, the gate's falling off. Like the dogs are running around. I don't know what to do. And she's so calm. She's like, okay, I'll put it on the members page. I was like, you have to come home. Like, so someone needs to save me here. And sure enough, like an hour later,
John Homer,
Joe
Janos,
were
Rob
there,
Davies.
like, knocking on the door. They're like, hey, what's up, bud? We're going to be here. We'll fix this up. Like, Rob Davies came through. They had a contractor out there to fix it.
There was like 10 other people that commented.
Yeah, it was
That's
fixed
amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
in an hour.
I'll tell you what, like,
Derek Kidd saved our butt probably twice
Oh,
now with
yeah.
our garage door. Paul with our air conditioning. Rob
like-
Davies for stuff. I mean, it's nuts.
So many occasions, and that's what's awesome. Is people are awesome. People are beautiful human beings, and they're all at CrossFit Blade.
Yeah.
You know, like at one of the gyms. You know, it seems like, and that's who we want to attract, and that's kind of who we filter out. Like, we don't have any crappy people.
Yeah.
You know, because
They don't stick around.
Yeah.
They don't mesh well with us.
Yeah. Like, we want awesome, and I'm not. There's other awesome, amazing communities out there, and awesome, but we just get to see ours firsthand, and they always come through. And it's a beautiful,
no matter
beautiful
what.
thing.
Yeah.
So
They moved an entire gym in 3 days.
Yeah.
One day, actually.
Well, Yeah, really, one
big
day.
stuff, one day, yeah.
Me,
All hours of the night.
Andrew, and Victoria picked apart and separated every nail and screw so that it was organized. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
They didn't build a lifting platform, though, huh?
Andrew Neighbors was brand new to the gym.
Yeah.
He just comes in and does it. Like Tom Arbolita, every time we ever need a DJ or like whatever, obviously Tom just likes to play music and dance. Like, you know, so it's like not a big ask.
If
you know,
it sounds
but,
like a party, Tom will be there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just
I remember
we could rattle off for half an hour about how members step up and do awesome things. But one thing I do want people to know about is Claire's training that she's done. So Claire, I'd say how long? In the past 6 months or a year, you've been really stepping up and taking on a ton of personal training.
Personal training, yeah.
And one of the things that makes me so happy about that is how good you are at it.
Thanks.
Like, it's unreal to watch you train people.
Thanks.
Like, it's it makes me so happy, like so proud. You know, it's unreal. And like with and Anthony, and like he's been taking on a lot, and I know Corey's starting to get some, and like to see other people fill that role and come in and just do a phenomenal job and kill it every time they're with a client and make massive progress with them. I really don't have the words right now because I almost started crying.
Personal training.
To describe, you know, what it means to me and the gym and everyone that you do it for. But I just want people to know how talented you are and how much time and effort you put into it. So it's awesome. So
Thanks.
I can't wait for that to continue to grow and people get better and better. And you've got a couple PT years right now, don't you, Cora?
Starting
I don't
on it,
get to
yeah.
watch you live very often. I don't know when you're doing it.
5
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. That's what time it should be done.
Yep. 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Hopefully getting young man Royce, get him onto a platform soon. That'll be a fun one.
I know.
Yeah.
I was texting Nancy, asking what his age and height is, and her age and weight a couple weeks ago.
I know. Once I saw him, I was
And
like,
when I saw him working with Gage, I was like, I'm gonna get that kid in youth nationals this year.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a meet pronto.
yeah. Once you see
And Claire's
him,
like, no, he's not ready. He's got to do blah 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 blah. I was like, he's ready.
Look at that kid.
Yeah, look at him.
Climbed up the
Freaking
pegboard.
athlete.
Like,
yeah.
the kid has no fear. Jumped up the pegboard, climbed all the way to the top. Didn't have to ask twice.
The kid weighs 75 pounds. That's all he has to total. When it's under 16, you just have to hit your body weight for a kilo total.
Yeah.
He'll
smash
Youth
it.
nationals this year. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if Nolan's gonna go. So
It'd be fun.
but yeah. All right. Well, I think we've gotten to know Claire and Tara quite a bit over the past half hour or so. I mean, I'm sure, you know, we could talk even longer, and this won't be the only time we have them on. But just to keep things moving, you want to get into some questions?
Some questions from the members. Speaking of Mr. Caleb, we got Caleb King with a couple questions. First question is, what's the most challenging thing for first-year CrossFit members? Most challenging thing. I guess what?
First year.
First year, I mean, there's not...
First year's amazing.
Yeah, the first year's like your best...
You get to PR
everything.
like
We talked about that
90%
the
of
other
the time
day.
you come in. You know, I guess for some people that aren't used to the routine of it, maybe.
Yeah, I
Like
can see
some of
that.
them, if they're not, you know, like have a hard time, I don't know, they've never been to a gym goer or whatever, but that's what's cool about CrossFit is it makes going to the gym way easier than the alternative.
Yeah.
If you're going to...
You show up, the program's done.
You're
Yeah.
good.
You know exactly. You're being told what to do. You're being coached the entire time.
Probably just like it gets overwhelming maybe on how many different things there are to learn.
I'd say
learning
that.
curve. I'd say that. I'd say Caleb doesn't have this at all because he just wants to learn. But I would say for like a younger male, like that ego,
Yeah.
your first year, show up and
Well, that's the
especially our
thing.
gym, girls
Because
at our gym are
everyone's
out
different,
lifting you,
right?
yeah.
It seems like every question that the members ask, it's like, well, there is no blanket answer.
Yeah.
Like when my first year of CrossFit is completely different than even Caleb or someone else's first year of CrossFit, because some people, I immediately thought, well, I'm going to go to regionals. Like I'm going to be a CrossFit competitor. This is what I'm focused on. I'm going to open a gym, blah, blah, blah. Some people are like, I just want to learn double unders.
Yeah.
Like, how can I learn double unders? You know, I'd like to learn how to do a pull up, you know? And so everybody's completely different, but I would say the learning, all the
learning curve.
movements, and then the desire to do movements, like fighting that desire. Because a lot of people are like, and I love like that handstand walk today. It's a Friend Friday, you know, the rope climb yesterday.
Last week.
2 movements last week. 2 movements that are easily scalable, a rope climb progression and then a bear crawl, but incredibly complex to do as done with a rope climb and a handstand walk. But we can have those guys working out together, one bear crawl and one doing rope climb progressions, and they get to see normal everyday 9 to 5 people doing these incredible things. Like things that you never see at another gym. Oh, people are walking on their hands for fitness. People are climbing 15 feet up in the air. That's amazing, and that's why we're doing that, you know. And so is to give them that little exposure to that desire, because someone's going to see that and they're going to say, I never want to do that in a million years. That doesn't look like any fun to me. Or someone's going to see that and be like, I want to do that one day. I might not be even close to it right now, but that's something I could jive with. Like, that sounds exciting to me. And that person's probably going to want to come back
Go
and
and
do
stick
that.
with it. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Round table question. So just right off the top of your head, Claire, best shoes for CrossFit. Go.
Nano 8s.
Nano 8s. Chris.
Well, my favorite nanos of all time is Nano 2, Nano 4, Nano 6, Nano 8. The even
the
numbers.
Yeah.
I love all of those. If they made the 4s regularly and those were easy to get, I'd get 4s. If 6s were easy to get, I'd get 6s. I love the 8. I love the nano, even number nanos. The odd numbers, no, but the even numbers are awesome. Yeah. Metcons hurt my feet. I like the way Metcons look, but I just can't wear them because they just don't fit my feet correctly. So,
Yeah.
And then no bulls, they're too flat for me. They're not breathing. They don't breathe enough for me. I think they look cool. I wear them like out as fashion, but for performance CrossFit, any one of the even nanos.
Nano 6s, black and gum. If I could get that same shoe over and over and over again, I've already had 3 pairs of the same one. But
Well, that's the only one they release.
no, the Nano 6?
The black gum one. Like when they redo it.
Oh
and
yeah,
say-
they come out with it a couple times. T. Metcon.
Metcons.
Yeah, T's a Metcon girl.
She's got tiny
Always.
feet.
She's got
I got
little
skinny
narrow,
feet.
skinny feet,
Yeah.
huh?
Metcons work best for me.
Yep. Okay. Favorite famous CrossFit
Okay,
athlete
so
to
on
follow?
that though, the best shoe is one that you try out and know
Yeah,
that your
it's
feet
whatever
don't
fits your
hurt. You can use, so like
Can run in.
You can
try
run
it
in, you can
out.
lift in.
You know, if you have a wide foot, I do think that the Nano
Is better.
Is better. If you strictly care about fashion, then the No Bull.
But my dad's foot is as wide as it is
I know,
long,
and you can tell.
He's got huge, flat, wide feet, like I was gonna say platypus, but I don't think that
More
they
like
have.
a hobbit.
yeah, hobbit feet,
Yeah.
or like a cartoon duck. Like that's how I picture his feet. And he loves the Nobles for everything. That's all he wears.
Yeah,
So
that is
Hey
true.
Corey, I got something for you.
oh yes.
Oh, wow.
I cracked my LaCroix before,
Sorry.
and I was so mad because I've cracked one every podcast. Thanks, T. I appreciate that.
I got you.
Yep. See, LaCroix, we're still doing it for you. So yeah, it's whatever shoe fits you and you like to run, jump, lift, climb in.
Climb the rope.
Climb the rope.
That's, once you get that rope climbing skill, it's very important to have a shoe that you enjoy climbing ropes with. Yep.
Claire, who is your favorite CrossFit athlete to follow?
Well, personality-wise,
I
Margot.
was gonna say Claire loves Margot.
I love her because she's the only CrossFit athlete that I've ever encountered that genuinely cares about other people besides themselves. She makes you feel like you're as important as her, and she's an amazing athlete. And she's older, which is really cool to watch. I like watching, I love watching her, but I love watching Annie. She's probably my favorite to watch just because she's such a hit. Like, she's been there forever, so probably those. And then, guys, I love watching Rich and Matt Frazier, Bukowski.
Chris, favorite athlete to follow?
Rich.
Bar none?
Oh, yeah. Well, outside of Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Claire's my favorite CrossFit athlete of all time. Obviously, I'm most involved with her and love watching her, and I fully believe that had the gyms not been such a priority, and a lot of times, like, we could have made a run at the games, she wouldn't have did us a favor in 2016. And
that would have been the year.
and gone. She would have had a good run then, and she hates us talking about that, but could have been at the games for sure if we would have put a little bit more time in. And who knows what will happen at 35 and older, and we'll give some more runs maybe. If it's around.
If it's around.
Yeah.
But she wanted to see 5 other people that would have never got to compete at regionals.
Yes.
So she did us a huge favor on that one.
Yeah. So Rich, bar none, like, I'm a huge fan of Rich. He's, he's a Christian. He's just super fit, like, just an amazing athlete all around. He's an athlete, a true athlete, and he's the fittest man in the world, in my opinion still. Obviously, Matt, is an amazing athlete and fitted, but I just don't jive with Matt as much as I do Rich. And then female Annie, for sure.
Yeah, I like Rich for sure. Just same thing Chris said. And he just seems like a cool dude that you could just hang out and talk to.
I really like Josh Bridges too.
Yeah, and I like all the older but I've been following like Hepner a lot lately. He just is funny to me, and I think he's a freak of nature. Like, maybe not the best CrossFit athlete all around, because obviously, he hasn't been to the games for a couple years because of
he makes fun of his movement.
But yeah, he makes fun of it. Like,
he makes fun of his movement. Like, he has an incredible capacity.
It's insane.
And the capacity that we haven't really seen. He hasn't been to the games in a couple years, so we'll see what happens at the games this year. But his movement isn't as clean. He makes fun of it, and he recognizes it. So it's not like he's, he
doesn't take himself too seriously.
Exactly, but the reason Rich is because he moves so well. Yeah. He looks like he's not putting out the effort that he's putting out because of his movement. And that's what, like, is so awesome to watch. Live, over the past several years, seeing, at the games, just destroying the field effortlessly is what it looked like. Yeah.
And I'd say I really like following Margot too, especially just like what Claire said. Like, we would meet her at regionals, and she would obviously be talking to Claire because they compete together. But she would ask, like, hi, how are you? And she would actually listen for an answer. And, anyone else, not that other people, they have a lot going on. It's a big weekend for a lot of people, but she's not just a regional athlete. Like, she's been a games athlete. Like, it's a big weekend for her. She has a lot riding on it, but she still cares about what everyone else is doing. Like, she truly asks how you are and means it. And I like Margot a lot for sure.
Well, Claire is my favorite athlete.
Oh, thanks.
She's amazing. Like, her... more because of just she leads by example in our gym. So I see that all the time on a day-to-day basis. And for her, it's never about like, she gets the best score, she gets things done the fastest, whatever, but like, she always does it right. Like, I don't do that every time. Like, I'm like just trying to get through a workout, but she's like, okay, everything's exactly perfect. So
might be slight OCD.
Yeah, that's okay though. That's what makes you great.
Yeah, she moves perfectly.
But on the national stage, I guess I love watching Katrin and Cara Webb. I just like how she doesn't take herself too seriously.
Yeah, I like Cara Webb a lot too. She's pretty, like, in the games when they like missed the reps or whatever, and like she was just like, give me the score. Like,
just when you can watch like how people handle adversity and it's good, like that says a lot to me. Yeah,
she was just sitting on the bike. She was like, it's not the end of the world. Just tally up and tell me how many reps I got, and then I'll go on to the next workout. Like, that was cool. Yeah. Sweet. Next question is from Nash, and it's to Claire.
Nash Johnson. When I saw that name on the Watify for the first time, I thought it was gonna be like a 6'4", like Thor looking guy, like a model looking like Nash Johnson. It sounds like someone out of an 80s cop series. And then little Nash walks in, and I was like, "You're Nash Johnson?" It was just like a shock to me. But yeah, Nash is awesome.
She would like to know from Claire, what's it like to work side by side, train for competitions, get coached, and live with your husband? Do you agree on everything? That last part?
That's all I gotta say. Just laugh.
That's impressive that she even can ask that question. Because I would think most people would just know the answer.
I mean, I think anyone that is around us probably sees how our relationship is like. I'm a lot more sensitive than he is.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't like being yelled at ever. And so it just depends like what kind of role we're in. Like as a business partner, we definitely don't always see eye to eye, but like I know him well enough that if we disagree, then we just got to separate. And then when we come back, then we usually will come up to an agreement. He's really quick to react. And so we both know like as long as he gets a second to like think it through, he usually
I've come a long way.
You've come a long way, yeah.
Couple years. I've grown up a little bit.
Yeah, so it's hard because I have to separate like business partner from husband, but I usually will always like be like, you are still my husband. Like you have to treat me nice, and he does.
Babe, like 99.9% of the time, I worship your feet. You're like a queen.
I know.
It's just when you say something stupid, I'm like, hey, listen. No,
and then I kick you.
And then she
kicks you.
No. So, but I want people like, this is our life. This is the life we've chosen. It's been like this the entire time. I started as your trainer, as your coach. We started dating. I was your coach. We got married. I was your coach. We got married. We became business partners. Like, this is just what has been. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. And It's great. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I would say that Claire obviously does a really good job though too at knowing what role she's in that moment. Like when we're working out, when we're in competition, like she knows that she's an athlete in an athlete coach environment, and like that's what environment she's in, and that's what reaction she's going to get from it. If it's a training question or something like that, it's different than what's going on outside of that.
Yeah, I mean the people closest to us as far as like who trains with us gets to see like sometimes we'll come in with like our own problems and we'll sometimes bring it into the gym, but usually kind of smash it quick. Or like I'm probably the only one that is able to say anything to him that could be reactive just because I am his wife. So it's hard because he doesn't have a coach and he's everyone's coach for everyone else. So when I see something that maybe he could use coaching for, like, or someone else says it, no one's going to say anything.
It just kind of depends on when it's said. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my heart rate's at 180 and, like, I'm hamming and it's 10 minutes into a workout, like...
Just wait till the end.
I'll say it.
Yeah. Claire will say something and it's like, you know.
So,
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's great.
But when we talk personally about things behind the scenes and stuff, then it's amicable and...
Oh, yeah, always. Yeah. No, we have a really great relationship, but it is hard. It can be hard if we don't separate the two. Like if he's my coach and I'm upset because he didn't walk the dogs or something, like something stupid, and I don't let that go and I need him to coach me, then that can be a problem. But usually we're pretty good about... It took me 2 years to trust him as my coach, like to literally give everything he said a chance before I would fight him. And not really, I'd question like what he would do. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do anything that you're asking.
Well,
and then
you just doubted yourself.
Finally, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do everything you say. And because of that, that's when I finally started to change. And become a better athlete. So yeah, I mean, he's an amazing coach, and it just took me a couple years to like fully believe what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, the hands-on, that was back,
That's when I
used to be so much more involved in Claire's day-to-day fitness. Now it's like, we don't have time. Regionals is gone. You basically said you didn't want to try to make it to the games anymore, so it was like, okay, we have way too many other people to worry about. When it was 100 people, 150 people total, but now it's like, if I give Claire as much attention as I used to give her, then other people are going to suffer.
I usually, now it's like, I don't,
Yeah, it's just she's so good and moves so well. What I'm saying is you move so well, you know exactly what to do. A program's on the program. Claire does every single thing that's in a program, no matter what.
Yeah.
Every single time, and she's done it for years. If it's in the program, she does it, no matter what. And if I made a mistake and take something out, she's like, no, it was in there. Like, we should probably do it, you know? And so, like, there's no one more disciplined as far as following a program, so I don't have to worry about it. I know if it's written, she's gonna do it. So it's like I don't have to micromanage her and
she does everything all the time.
2014, 2015, it was like every day, hands-on, making sure, because the stuff I was giving her was stuff that she didn't have belief that she could get done. And so it was more having to be there as emotional support and stuff like that. Now she knows she can do it. And, yeah.
But Nash, it's great. That's a good question. It probably looks hard because people see different sides of Chris as a coach and an owner, and they don't get to see what he's like at home, and he's amazing at home. He's got a big heart, even though he comes off super intense. He does. He definitely puts me on a platform, and that's how he is at home. Like, it's not fake. He's just super intense when he's with members because he has goals for you guys that, like, you're never going to see if he doesn't push you that way. And that's how I was a couple years ago, is I never saw it until he pushed me that direction. And it can be intense, but if he's not like that, he doesn't care about you. If he's not intense with you, he just doesn't care.
Don't care about you.
Well, that's true. I mean, if he doesn't put the effort of like that intensity of like, no, you should do this or you can do this and push you, then,
or like if you ask a stupid question and I tell you it's a stupid question.
Yeah, he's just being honest.
It's just building up rapport with people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to tell, Daniel Knopf today that he didn't do very well,
right.
that he, Daniel came up today, and Daniel Knopf is a fairly new member, and his wife Hillary, and just expressed how grateful he was that I complimented Hillary on her snatch and told her how well she did, because she did so well and she did the best she's ever done. And she loved that and took it to heart and called Daniel right after. She didn't want to go to the gym and she said how much she loved it. So like those little things, I'm not going to be like that to Daniel and Hillary because they're still being formed,
right.
And they're fragile, but I'm not gonna, and I don't want to talk about a lot of names, but like there's people that you need to get out of that. Like, I'm not here to hold your hand and make you feel like sunshine. Like, I do that. It is there. The heart is there. But in order for you to understand what you need to do and get my point across, I don't have time to baby it and do it. It's just boom, boom, boom. I got another 100 people I've got to make contact with today about this. I can't just hold your hand and whisper sweet nothings to you about it, even though that might be what you want to hear, and I recognize when that needs to happen, like, I'll adjust, then, but.
Yeah.
He always whispers sweet nothings to me.
I never. What did I say today? Corey goes, I didn't have time to do it. Corey went,
you don't have time.
Corey wouldn't do the program correctly. And I was like, don't tell me you don't have time. You've been here for a half hour.
You're not the busiest
you could have
person
done
in the
it.
world.
Don't tell me you're so busy. You could have done it. He's like, I had to go to the bathroom. I was like, Corey, don't tell me you didn't have time. Just tell me you didn't want to be tired. Just tell me that, and we'll be fine.
It had nothing to do with it.
And so, but we're still great friends. And so, like, that's the thing is, like, Corey and I have a unique relationship, and they were really good friends, but I'm also his boss, and I'm also his coach. And so, like, that dynamic has to play out. Like, no, we're not going to and sitting and watching football together right now. Like, I'm trying to make you the best man and the best athlete you can be, and that's my ultimate goal. And so
that's probably a lot harder relationship than ours.
Yeah.
Because you don't get to go home.
I'm stuck with you.
We're stuck with each other. Yeah,
like, we
exactly.
ain't going nowhere. Like, and so if I hurt Corey's feelings too much, then I feel bad about it. But gotta do what I gotta do.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Tara, you ready?
Sure. I didn't read any of the comments, so I don't know about the
okay,
questions.
so this is also from Nash. How do you manage family, life with kids, full-time work, and still fit in time to coach and train?
That's a good one.
I
That is a good
don't.
one.
That's her constant battle.
Yeah, I don't
battle.
manage it well at all. I'm actually really poor at managing it, but I do the best I can. like I had to go through a shift, like when I was first with CrossFit Blade, and I don't know, I guess it was probably 2000. What was the first regional year? 15, 14? 16 for the
For
team?
us, yeah, 16.
Yeah, it was right around that area time frame. Quinn was about getting close to about 2 years old, and I just couldn't balance it anymore. And so I had to make a decision. I couldn't spend 4 hours on a Saturday working out. I had to make a choice to take those, kids.
Be a mom.
Yeah, be a mom. Kids grow up fast, and so. That and the business has come a lot more demanding since the beginning as well. Just I have to spend a lot of time at it. So yeah, I wouldn't say I balance it well, and it's something that I struggle with a lot, but it's something that I recognize and I'm continuously trying.
Yeah, but so
I think that you manage it well. You don't.
Thank you.
yeah. So
we
like
know when she gets off, when she's getting off.
Oh yeah, you
And
can
I
tell.
know it too.
She comes
And
in.
I'll say it.
Oh,
Yeah.
She'll snap sometimes. She'll snap on me, and then 4 minutes later go, I had a really rough morning. That had nothing to do with you. I'm sorry.
I know when it's coming
she
on.
brought
Like
me food.
That's another great thing about Claire, Tara, and I is like we all know each other so well that when one's becoming unraveled, we can confront each other about it. Like during regional season when I was super stressed out, like Tara could confront me about that, and then if I know Tara's overwhelmed with something and I know the way she's acting and coming on, I can confront her about it, And so Claire's pretty even keeled. She just won't let her emotions show like Tara and I because we're super emotional people. That more happens here, so which is good.
Like at home.
Claire and I balance each other out
Very well.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
But so what I want to talk about Tara is, as a mom, is we were talking about on a past episode, and I said, I know people have kids, and that can play a difficult role with your nutrition. And almost as I was like giving an excuse, and then posthumously, haha. See what I did there?
Got it.
That means after, reflecting back. What is that?
It's after death actually, but nobody died yet, so.
Yeah. After the episode had died. And so I was like, well, actually, I should have brought up Tara, and I work with my business partner, has kids, is a mom, super busy, but doesn't let her kids eat junk food,
No.
doesn't
No,
have
I
it in the
don't.
house, and does a really good job with that. Whereas, sometimes that's not always the case. And I don't want to call anybody out or say anything about anyone's life. Everyone's different. I have no reason to judge. I don't have kids. I'm not a mom. I don't do that. But I do know a mom very well who is in my life who does do that. And so,
You're a what's on the table is what's on the table
Oh
mom,
yeah,
right?
my kids have gone to bed hungry
Yeah, oh, yeah.
many, many times. I never cook an extra meal for them ever.
Yeah, that's
Ever.
how we grew up. If you didn't want to
And
eat
if they
it,
don't
then
eat
you
dinner,
didn't
they
eat.
don't get any snacks afterwards either.
Oh yeah.
and you're firm with it and you follow through, and that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So, that can be extremely difficult, I'm sure, to have to do that. I'm a softie. I'm probably gonna be like, yo, that's cool too. I didn't like broccoli either.
Yeah, the ice cream.
I didn't like broccoli either when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's, it's like, okay, well,
Here you go.
hey,
You can have this after.
give it to Merv. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, it's commendable, that's for sure. Yeah, any other questions? Oh, your dad, I think.
Yeah,
came through with the
old
question.
lawnmower came through the question. Here, let me pull it up.
Do you think he's
let's
gonna like
see.
that you called him old lawnmower?
I can call him old lawnmower. He's my
Don't call him Olani.
dude.
Gosh.
Shouldn't even have been on the pod. He's gonna be mad
he's
about
gonna be
that.
mad about that.
Just for reference, don't ever call him that. Anyone that's listening to this podcast, he'll never say a mean word to anybody. But if you call him that, you're definitely getting a cold shoulder and maybe a very stern. Do not call me that. That's probably how it'll finish. Oh, he didn't send it to me. He sent it to me and you, right? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Okay, question.
I had it memorized.
For Tara and Claire, well, you're better at memorizing things than me. What's your number one goal to have happen in your life over the next year?
Number one goal
Mm-hmm.
to have happen in my life.
Over the next year. It's number one goal.
That's a really tough one.
That's a tough one there, Pot.
I mean, I set goals daily. Like, I have a little journal and I write goals daily. They're mostly all business goals, but my first goal, and it's not a SMART goal because it's really hard to measure, but is just what we were talking about a minute ago, is to have balance in my life. And I write it every single day, like in my journal. Like, I want to have balance in my life. And to me, I guess balance means, at 5 o'clock when I go home, I can focus on my kids and not think about a bunch of other things, and that I can come, like, gearing up for the Granite Games. I love training, and it was really fun training for, spending an hour and a half to sometimes 2 hours with the ladies. I mean, I love seeing, Nancy and Bev and Melissa and Gaina and all those ladies. I know I missed a few, but all you guys just train every day, and I want to be part of that group. I'm just not quite in a place that I can commit the time yet, so.
Have balance. Have balance in life. That's a good goal for the year.
So, November 2019. We'll
come back to this.
Yeah,
we're going to see how balanced your life is.
Yeah.
Claire?
That's hard. Well, with regionals gone, that changes a lot of things. So I think, like, personally, I would like this year to be a little bit more, like, dedicated to just seeing if I can impact more people's lives, like, physically, spiritually. I mean, emotionally, it's all the time, but that's like one of our missions. And so last year it's really easy to get sidetracked and kind of lose focus and, like, forget what, like, my real purpose in life is and my mission is. And so I think this year that would be probably my goal, is to continually, like, strive for that and just change more people's lives, especially since, like, I'm not going to be an important, like, athlete this year. Every year there's, like, a season where it's like, all right, I've got to train more and everyone covers for me and it's amazing. Now I don't have to do that. So I can give back more. So that's fine.
Because you're still fitter than all of us, even though you don't have to do that.
It's not true.
It's true.
Very true.
Nice. Those are some good goals. Chris, you got a goal for the year?
We're trying to have a kid too. Like, they were going to try to start a family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's a big goal.
That's a big goal.
That's a big goal.
Yeah.
Do I have goals? Well, the question wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. But, I mean, you can answer.
What about you, Corey? Tell us.
What's
your goal for the year?
I don't know what my goal for the year is. Become a better individual athlete would be a goal. Qualify for something as an individual. Begin to set the steps forward to start creating a good life for myself and Julia. And that's probably my two biggest goals for the year.
I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Hearing that from you.
Thanks, T.
Yeah.
Yeah, those would be probably my two goals.
So you and Julia, your life together?
Setting up for... What is your goal?
What's that going to entail?
That's to be determined. I got to think about that.
We can't wait till your next episode.
I know.
See the development on that.
I think you guys should have her on next episode.
I can't have her on. She'll make fun of me all the time.
Does she listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. I know she's super busy with school,
Yeah,
so I don't want to fill up her brain with all the information we're putting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be my goals for the year.
Get a new car.
Yeah, and get a new car. That's part of the new goals. Yep.
I guess one of my major goals would be, we have some stuff going on with our North Gym that I'd like to work out as best as possible. So
Yeah,
that stuff's going on.
that's a good one.
But I don't want to talk too much about that because it's a whole episode on its own. But our main goal is to keep we have to move out of our North location by the end of January 2019, and our number one goal is to keep that
December
2019, excuse me. And our number one goal is to keep that community together and find a home for them, and the best way possible. There's just not a lot of stuff down there. There's not a lot currently in Tremonto going on. So we are working diligently on finding out what that entails and how we're going to do that as a team. So I think that's a primary in the next few months as well, or anyways, that's our goal. So figuring that out. And I'd like to do some other things, but I don't need to start getting into that because I'll talk forever. But they all have to do with the gym, weightlifting program, powerlifting program, all the stuff.
All
the stuff. Building third level onto the gym. Get some.
We have a loft.
That was in the original plans.
I remember. I was
Did
so
you know this?
stoked. Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah.
Maybe get a
I still
Ninja Warrior
remember.
course set up
Do you know how
around
much
there. Maybe a rock climbing wall in the back wall.
That would be
I
so.
still
keep
remember how
talking.
much it was going to be.
Yeah. I don't remember how much it was going to be.
$90,000.
$90,000 to build a lot. I feel like we could just, if
We just ran out of
had
money. We
a ladder
lost the footings.
and put some stuff. I'm sure we could figure out.
Well, Claire has to go work out.
Since we have Claire here, though, should we quickly tell Claire's our regional story? Claire, how much?
Well,
We can't talk about
I'm
the
6
platforms.
minutes late already.
Did you text her?
Yeah, that I'd
Okay.
be there 6 minutes ago.
Not the platform.
Stacy, we're coming. Listen. One of the funniest things
The
that
funniest
ever
thing
happened,
that has ever happened
since we have Claire on here,
in
we
my
can embarrass her.
competitive, in my competitive life is this story with Claire. So the 2016 regionals was all of our first regional except for Claire's. We're very nervous.
I'm not nervous.
You're always nervous. No, stop. You were nervous too.
No.
People, and then so they gave us a time, a very broad time that we had to be there. We got there early
To check in for workouts.
day one of the workouts, and Claire being who Claire is, she wanted us there like 36 minutes early, way before any other team. We were the first team there. So we get there and nerves are going, and Chris, Steve, and I go into the bathroom to
As every male does. It was
does.
packed house. House.
Super
Guys
crowded.
waiting in line. Everyone, we're talking about like a 15 stall bathroom. Packed house.
And we just happened to be in 3 stalls right next to each other, which is even weirder. But anyways, so we go in there to use the restroom, handling our business, and all of a sudden you hear from the inside of the bathroom, you hear, "Chris Trainer!" And it's Claire screaming into the men's bathroom.
My full name.
Full name, Chris Trainer! And then it's silence, and then you hear, "Yeah." And she goes, "We gotta go check in right now."
And everyone's like, whoa.
And like you just hear like, like toilets flushing, like people freaking out. We run out there like they're about to say 3, 2, 1, go, and we have to start working out. Like that's the urgency that Claire had in her voice. We got out there. There was nobody in the warm up area. Not a single
Not in the
person.
check-in lines.
In the check-in lines. Not a single person.
The crowd.
Like, they didn't even have badges out yet for anybody.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Don't make things up.
There was nobody
not
there.
true.
I thought it was getting yelled at. Like my grandma caught me in her garden doing something. My grandma was a big gardener. Not everyone's gonna get that reference, but so it was hilarious. We laughed about it all day long for years and years, and we've got lots of stories like that. But since we had Claire on here, we wanted to tell it while she was here.
Was it as funny for you, Claire, as it was for us?
Yes,
hilarious.
she was laughing.
After-
Everyone was laughing because
Oh
she
my
went
gosh.
into the bathroom.
Into the bathroom.
And I'm the one that gets out of the stall, and they're like, "That's your girl." You know, like she did.
And just silence, like his Chris didn't know how to respond to
Yeah,
it.
I was like, "Okay, I gotta get out of here."
Yeah.
No eye contact. No eye contact.
We gotta go right now. I was like, did we miss our timeline? Like they're gonna start the workout right now. Oh, it was great.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having us.
Thanks,
We had a
Blaze.
blast. We'll see you next time.